Our celebration of strong continues today in Columbus, Ohio, where some of the world's biggest and best athletes will redefine what is possible and push the limits of the human body at an event named for a man synonymous with strength. This is the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic, and inside the Greater Columbus Convention Center, the bar is about to be raised again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Rogue Iron Game desk. Alongside Dr. Bill Crawford, I'm Sam Farber. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you with us here today. Well, Bill, the first day of competition, a lot of excitement. Hafthor Bjornsson coming in as the two-time defending champ. A lot of expectations for him in 2020, but he has had his achievements matched and maybe exceeded by one of his fellow competitors.
My name is Hafthor Bjornsson. I'm from Iceland.
Mateusz Kieliszkowski from Poland.
Jeff Garon, I'm from Canada.
Martin Slidsis, I'm from California.
Jared Pritchett, USA.
Alexei Noikov, I'm from Ukraine.
Bobby Thompson, I'm from Fredericksburg, Virginia.
I'm Mateusz Bielczak from Slovenia.
Rob Kearney, I'm from Massachusetts.
Mikhail Shevlyakov, Russia.
Hafthor Bjornsson, the two-time defending champ, half point back right now in the standings, but still in very good position.
He's in great position. This is still his competition to lose. He's going to come into the deadlift as a favorite there. He's going to get some help from some of the other athletes that are great deadlifters. And also, Mateusz and also Martins are not the best deadlifters in this competition, so he could create some space. He's also got to just then not make a mistake on the last two events, and this is his to win.
Mateusz being Mateusz Kieliszkowski of Poland, who had an outstanding day one. Let's take you through the tail of the tape. It all started in trial by stone, where Hafthor Bjornsson set the pace, but had his mark reset by Mateusz Kieliszkowski. He took the full 10 points in event number one. In event two, it was bag over bar, and the Polish strongman really came out. He gave it his best effort, not his top event. He was able to do what he could to limit the damage, but everyone knew this was an event made for the mountain, and Hafthor Bjornsson took event two. Finally, Wheel of Pain. This is where Mateusz Kieliszkowski did something we were not expecting.
He actually had a different training method than everyone else. Everyone else took a super yoke, put it on some grass or some artificial turf and pushed it. He pushed a truck. It obviously worked because he won.
I'll say it did. He set the mark to beat. Hafthor Bjornsson gave it his best effort, could not reach that mark. In fact, he also didn't meet Martin Lichci's mark in that event, which gave Mateusz a little bit more cushion in event three. So on top of his win in two events on day one, he also has the top spot in the standings, half point ahead of the mountain, Hafthor Bjornsson. I know Martin Lichci feels confident he can make up the gap. Rob Kearney, Jeff Garon are also some really solid athletes who are expected to have big day twos as well. Our leader, Mateusz Kieliszkowski, is standing by with the third member of our broadcast team. Here's Kiki Dixon.
Mateusz, you had a full day of competition. How's the bicep holding up?
Now I feel great. Biceps is good. I am leading now after the first day. Today we have three next events. One event is deadlift. It's my weakness. I know I will lose a lot of points in this event, but still two best events for me. Then I will be fight to the end.
Kiki, thank you. Mateusz, definitely a good attitude. We came into this competition looking at Hafthor saying he needs to do well at what he does well at and limit the damage in everything else. Mateusz did that on day one to take the lead. Can he keep it going here in day two?
Well, the next event's the deadlift, and that's a deficiency for him, and he knows that. He needs to stay as close to the top five as possible. He's had some really great events so far, and he's got some momentum, but he knows the deadlift is where he could get separated from Hafthor. He's got to keep him in touch. Weird things happen on the frame carry. Hafthor could make a mistake. If he gets a mistake in that and catches up with him again and goes to the sheer dumbbell in second place, it's possible he wins.
But Hafthor Bjornsson right there on his heels, and this is an event, much like bag over bar, that seems made for him.
Hafthor's had great training. Just about 3 weeks ago, he pulled 1,058 pounds in training. And if you saw the film, it didn't look that hard. And so he went through a period of time we call deloading, and it allows the strength to sort of catch in, the training cycle to soak in.
We'll see what number he has in mind. He's standing by right now with our Kiki Dixon.
Hafthor, you're just half a point behind first place position. How do you plan on closing the gap and then maintaining it over the three events?
I gotta come in ready, perform well. You know, this is my event, deadlift next up. I'm gonna do what I do best, get my 10 points, And from there, we still, have to do some work. So I have to perform well in the frame carry and then the sheer tumble in the evening.
Kiki, thank you. And Hathor's plans seem pretty sound logic. Of course, we all want to see what he can do. Can he expand this 1,000-pound club that he's already a member of and make it an 1,100-pound club? The elephant bar deadlift is coming up. Much more to come here at the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic.
The 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic on CBS Sports is sponsored by Theragun. Change the way you move. GoRuck. Founded by a Green Beret, GoRuck is an American brand with Special Forces roots. And by Rogue. Don't weaken.
The world's strongest have congregated again here at the Columbus Convention Center in Columbus, Ohio. Day 2 of the Arnold Strongman Classic about ready to get underway with maybe the home run derby of strongman. The deadlift is about to get started here at the Arnold Strongman Classic. Sam Farber, Dr. Bill Crawford, happy to have you guys with us here again. This is the big one, the elephant bar deadlift. Here is the event ins and outs. 3 rounds to establish a 1-rep max deadlift. The heaviest lift wins.
Talking to Bill Henniger, owner of Rogue, they put so much time into this detail about how to make this bar perfect for the deadlift.
Each year, Rogue works with the organizers of the Arnold Strongman Classic to create customized equipment capable of testing the strongest men on Earth. Since 2016, athletes at the Arnold Strongman Classic have lifted the Rogue Elephant Bar. It's 10 feet long and carries 2-inch deep plates with the outline of Arnold Schwarzenegger. The deadlift record on this bar is 1,046 pounds, set by Hathor Bjornsson in 2019.
Looks like we are ready to go. The man who is currently in first place overall in the competition, it is Mateusz Kieliszkowski. See Arnold right in front of Mateusz Kieliszkowski. $821 pounds. Very impressive.
Great lift. Start up a little slowly there to get the flex out of the bar. Just got it to his knees and pulls back. Standing up with it. Good lift.
Next up is going to be Mikhail Shivlyakov. And the Siberian Force has been a real inspiration throughout this competition. He's dealing with an ankle sprain, and it's seemingly impossible for him to go out there and compete the level he has. But back over bar, he took second, essentially on 1 foot. He's heavily taped out there, and he will start this deadlift at 901 pounds.
He's a professional. This is the highlight of his year. He's going to do what has to happen to stay in this competition.
901 pounds.
Very routine lift. Takes the flex out of the bar, gets it to his knees and pulls back. He's happy to get that lift and stay in this competition. He bypassed a lot of competitors with that lift as well.
Next up is Jerry Pritchett, 906 pounds.
Very wide hand placement and foot placement. Really gets his hips down.
Has it, and has it fairly easily.
Looks like he's a little ginger when he stood up there, so I don't know if there's the second day of competition or if there's something that we haven't understood about how he feels today.
Jerry starting the day in 7th place. This is where he's got to make his move. 906 pounds, successful. Martins Lichis at 906.
I'll be really honest with you. I can't wait to see this first lift because this is going to set a pace. If he has a really strong pull, with the other athletes maybe not starting as high as I thought they would, he could actually end up placing the top 3 in this event, and the nightmare starts.
First attempt, 906 pounds, controlling the bar very nicely.
Good lift. Very methodical. He had to put an extra gear to get that weight off the ground. Takes the flex out of the bar. The weights break off of the ground, gets it to his knees and finishes off. It didn't look particularly easy. but it was a very smooth lift overall.
So now we will see Bobby Thompson step up, and he will be starting at 911 pounds.
This is a big first lift.
How about that, Bobby
Very
Thompson?
Smooth. Very nice. He looks stronger than a number of the other athletes, I'll say that.
Different events suit different athletes, and maybe we were just waiting to find the one that was best for Bobby Thompson.
Yes. Wide hips, takes the flex out of the bar, but really just pulls straight through it. Gets it to his knees and pulls back. Very routine lift. He also has that wide foot placement and hand placement. Lets his hips engage maybe a little more deeply.
Now in this competition, it is felt at times in certain events like there's Hafthor and there's everybody else. You'll see that based off the starting weights here. But Rob Kearney, amongst everyone else, has the heaviest starting weight. He'll kick things off here for his competition at 921 pounds.
I really expect to see a pretty smooth lift here because he's had some tremendous poundages in training.
921 on the bar.
He got it.
Had that second effort halfway, but he's able to get it up.
Wow, that was a little harder than I thought. He really had to throw some gears on there. The interesting choice for his first attempt. Takes the flex out of the bar well, gets it to his knees, and then has to reset and then stand up. It shows how important just getting it to your knees is, and then you can reset your hips and pull back.
The next opening lift is above and beyond what anyone else has posted so far. It belongs to Hafthor Bjornsson, the Mountain, and he will start at 961 pounds.
This will be routine for him. I think he's going to blow this off the ground.
It's expected that he should win this, but he's hoping a few other people get between him and Kieliszkowski to create that gap he needs to survive maybe events later in the day that he's not as big a favorite in.
He's going to roll the bar back. That's his technique. Wow. That was great. You know, he's really just made a statement. He said, you know, I'm starting higher than anybody else. Not only that, this was just easier for me than anybody else's opener. This was routine. Okay, boys, come and get me.
Hafthor Bjornsson takes the early lead, but the elephant bar deadlift is far from over. More of the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic when we return. Welcome back to the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic presented by Rogue. We are in event number 4, the elephant bar deadlift. Alexei Novikov successfully lifted 821 pounds. Rob Kearney attempted 961, but the American rookie was unable to complete the lift. And Jerry Pritchett, one of the world's best in the deadlift, surprisingly could not pull 981 pounds in his last attempt.
So next up is going to be Bobby Thompson, and he will be going at 926 pounds. His first attempt was at 911 pounds. Was the third heaviest opening lift.
His first pull was fantastic. I really expect to see him make a good run on this, if not just outright complete it.
This would put him in second overall in this event. Of course, a lot of lifting left to go. Bobby Thompson.
Wow. That's a great lift. That's really strong. He's looking around. He's just soaking that up. First time here, he's loving this.
First man to go 2 for 2 on the elephant bar deadlift. Bobby Thompson successful at 926 pounds. Next up is going to be Mikhail Shivlyakov. Siberian Force, successful at 901 on his first attempt. He will jump to 941. Shivlyakov dealing with this ankle injury.
So even with this injury, I think he's performed unbelievably well. He's a podium finisher in the past at the Arnold Classic. This athlete has a lot of pride. Hips down, good start. He's got it to his knees. Keep coming. Yeah. Great lift.
Very strong. Mikhail Shivlyakov, 941, second heaviest lift of the competition.
Takes the flex out of the bar, gets it to his knees, pulls back. So strong. Phenomenal.
Next up will be JF Caron, jumping from 891 to 956. So this will be the largest jump thus far in the competition, even attempted.
Very smooth, very nice.
Canadian strong.
He had no hitching whatsoever, took the flex out of the bar, got over his knees so quickly he didn't have to reset at all. He just stood right up with it. Fantastic lift. Okay, this is a very pivotal part of the competition with Martins. So this would be a huge lift for him. This keeps Hafthor in striking distance, and it also puts more distance between he and Mateus. Hips down, gets the, oh, just not there.
That was successful at 961.
Wow, that was surprising, actually.
You know, there was that potential that Lichis would have created a lot of room between him and Kieliszkowski. Instead, they are only separated by one position currently in the standings. Hafthor Bjornsson, he's going to be going at 1,026 pounds. He's asking for his family and friends to get behind him here.
1,026, a huge statement. Come on, Hafthor, let's see this. That's well within striking distance for a big third attempt. No shoes, he's just coming out and going at it.
Here he goes.
Come on, Hafthor. Takes the flex out of the bar, gets to his knees. Wow, routine. That is unbelievable.
1,026 pounds. Hafthor Bjornsson. This is his to lose.
Controls the flex, gets it to his knees and finishes. No double clutching there. He put a little bit of effort into that one, but it was not overly difficult. It's obvious he's got a lot more in the tank.
So Bjornsson easily in first. He's lifted 70 pounds more than the next best successful lift. So he's ahead by a long margin. Next up will be Mateusz Kieliszkowski. He won trial by stone. He won the Wheel of Pain. Looking for a personal best here on the elephant bar deadlift. 886.
Pull, get it to his knees, come on. Okay, keep fighting it, control it, control it.
Can he do it?
That bar's
fighting
moving.
all the way.
Yes.
Kieliszkowski.
See, that is exactly what he was trying to do. He did complete the lift, and you see how much that meant to him after the lift. And that means that he's making improvement on the deadlift. Takes the flex out of the bar and just gets it to the knees and keeps fighting it. Pulling back, controlling that flex. Didn't allow the flex to get out of control like it did before, rocking back and forth. Just completes the lift. Fantastic.
Only 1,000-pound lift here at the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic. And it belongs to Hafthor Bjornsson, and because he's already won, he's not going to make a third lift here. Just not necessary. The winner with the lift of 1,026 pounds.
Making a routine, takes the flex out of the bar, doesn't even double clutch at the knees.
And his second lift, over 1,000 pounds.
So
Hafthor standing by with Kiki Dixon.
I was able to perform super well, only do 2 lifts. I think I gained some points on Mateusz Kieliszkowski. Now I just have to perform well in the frame carry and do well in the sheer dumbbell, which I'm very capable of because I've been training those 2 events very hard, and I feel like this competition is mine to lose now.
Impressive. Only man to lift over 1,000 pounds today. He takes first place, he takes 10 points, and he puts a sizable gap between himself and the rest of the competition. Still 2 events to go, a lot more to come. We'll have it much more from Columbus, Ohio, as the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic continues. Welcome back to continuing coverage of the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic. Day 2 is well underway, and we're getting set for Event 5, the frame carry, presented by Theragun here at the Arnold Strongman Classic. Alongside Dr. Bill Crawford, I'm Sam Farber. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you back with us here, Bill. This is going to be kind of a make or break event. It's the opportunity for the field to catch up to Hafthor Bjornsson, the Mountain, the two-time defending champion. If there's going to be a slip, this is likely where we'll see it.
That's the main thing he's going to do, is try to not make a mistake, because they could actually, some of the athletes could catch points with him. He just needs to be deliberate and get a good time in. I don't think he needs to have a blistering time. He's done very well in this event in the past, however.
Magnus Vermagnussen, the legend himself, standing by with our Kiki Dixon.
Talk to me about the points of performance. What is the key to this event?
Well, you got to have a good grip. You got to pick this thing up fast, and you got to take off. But you don't want to stumble on the way up.
Solid advice. Go fast, but don't mess it up. Thank you, Magnus.
Thank you.
Easier said than done, Bill. How do you break down how you avoid those mess-ups that could have such a monumental impact?
Well, like Magnus said, you want to outrun your grip in this event, because that is 881 pounds in your hands without straps. But you don't want to get rushed and have it tip in front of you and hit the platform and can stop you in your tracks.
Competitors will race head-to-head, moving this 881-pound frame up the 35-foot ramp. You're racing for the best time, not the best time in your heat.
This is an event that's been a standard here at the Arnold for a long time. I mean, since the beginning. They've remade the frame so that they would weigh the same. Those are barn timbers made by Landon Slater. These ramps are beautiful. If you can see them up close, they've got the Rogue quality all the way around.
These custom wood frame implements were crafted from hand-picked timber, then cut and assembled by Rogue's local partner, Slater Hardware. The barnwood timber, when assembled, weighs in at a punishing 881 pounds. About the only things bigger here in Columbus are Rogue's new ramps, each weighing 9,000 pounds. Athletes move the frame up the 35-foot incline. Fastest time wins. And going head-to-head will most certainly test strength and speed.
Our first heat will be Maciej Belczak and Jerry Pritchett. Maciej Belczak, even though his hip injury has certainly hindered him over the course of this competition, he is going to give it his best effort each and every event. Pritchett on the left, Belczak on the right. Here we go.
Weights are up. Jerry's feet are moving really well. 6 seconds, 7 seconds. He's cresting. He's almost there. Wow, great time. Wow. Yes, that was a great time. You get around 10 seconds, he just threw down that, okay, I'm gonna make up some points here. I'm sure he will.
Maciej Belczak, no quit in him. Trying to just move up the ramp as much as he can.
Personal pride, I love it. But Jerry had a smoking time. He's got the tight hands. Look at him moving his feet, moving his feet. He did more than outrun his grip. He smoked that course. I'm sure he feels vindicated. That is a great, great time.
Our next pairing is Bobby Thompson and Alexei Novikov. These two men are currently in a tie for 7th place, so kind of the head-to-head does play a little bit of a role here. You at least know you're ahead of the guy you were tied with coming into this event.
Right.
Bobby Thompson on the left. First Arnold Strongman Classic appearance from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Alexei Novikov on the right, his second time here in Columbus. Was the 7th place finisher a year ago, and he is tied for 7th overall right now. Here we go.
Referee's whistle starts them. Already a put down. Uh-oh. It's like Bobby's got an injury to his forearm. He's already got it heavily wrapped. And Alexei's just trying to survive and make up a little bit more space, trying to beat Bobby, and obviously Maciej. They only have 30 seconds, so this only can last so long.
Fighting for every inch. Again, Maciej Belczak moved at 8 feet 6 inches. And the final second there is the referee's whistle, and that'll do it. So neither of these two men able to complete the course. Jerry Pritchett, the only one who has so far, with a time of 10.31. And we'll get the measurements for these two athletes figured out for the points. Unlikely to factor in for guys like Hafthor Bjornsson or Mateusz Kieliszkowski, but you never know. Bobby Thompson's went 10 feet 5 inches, and Alexei Novikov 13 feet 10 inches. So for the moment, Novikov moves into second.
The Timber Carry is off to a fast start with Jerry Pritchett setting the time to beat at 10.3 seconds. Will it stand? Find out when the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic returns. Stream CBS Sports HQ, the completely free and always on sports news network for non-stop highlights, breaking news, and expert picks. Download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today. Welcome back to the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic presented by Rogue. We're in Event 5, the Timber Carry, and Jerry Pritchett has the time to beat of 10.3 seconds. But our overall leaders are still to come.
Now maybe the most inspirational performance of this competition. Mikhail Shivlikov will be next. Competing with an injured ankle, he still finished third in the deadlift. He finished second in bag over bar. He'll go head to head with Rob Kearney here. And Rob Kearney was in fourth place at the end of day one. He has slid back one spot. For both of these men, this is the make or break event to see if they can get into that podium conversation.
Look at Mikhail going up the ramp. Unfortunately, Rob's not even breaking it off the ground to get it up. Look at Mikhail, step by step. Unbelievable. A little more chalk on his hands. He's going to fight for a few more feet if he can.
Shivlikov trying to finish.
Come on. That is unbelievable that he got that far with that injury. He's got superhuman physical ability and an even more superhuman mind.
So a tough event for Rob Kearney, but Mikhail Shivlikov continues to impress. That should be enough to move him momentarily into second place in this event.
Yes. Picking up valuable points the whole way.
So Shivlikov moved at 19 feet 3 inches. That is the new second best performance so far. Now we get into our final four, so to speak, at least on this event. Martins, Litzis, and JF Caron. These two separated by 1.5 points in the standings, but they came into this one in the same boat as Rob Kearney. You do well, you got a shot at the podium, and maybe a shot at a top two finish. Here we go. Litzis has it up, so does Caron. Caron brings it down.
He's still moving, he's still going.
Litzis.
He's almost there. Oh, he dropped. That costs you so much time. It's so much harder to get it back up, but he's cresting. He's still got to get it over that line.
Won't be the best time, but he will post a time. Very impressive, Martins Litzis.
Completing the course.
On the other side, JF Caron fighting for every inch.
Got his grip, tight hands. He's not bouncing in front of the frame off the platform. Keeps his feet moving. He's trying to outrun that grip. That was an unfortunate drop because he was right at the line, but able to get it over. Excellent effort, the second athlete to finish.
17.37 seconds. That'll help him out a lot. JF Caron, 26 feet 6 inches. And it is good to put him in third place for the moment. Meanwhile, Mateusz Kieliszkowski and Hafthor Bjornsson will be our final heat. Bjornsson in first place.
I would have to give Hafthor a nod on this because he's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger stride, and he's done this a couple more times than Mateusz has, but it's really a toss-up. I'd love to see them both finish without a drop.
Can he extend his advantage? Here we go. Kieliszkowski got it up first and is ahead. Hafthor drops it. Kieliszkowski
wins.
Sailing to the top with the best time of the day.
Wow.
Hafthor struggling. This is going to have a huge impact.
This is huge. He's got to finish this course.
Hafthor dragging it up as far as he can. He's got a few seconds. Can he finish the course?
No. No.
Doesn't quite get there, and a time of 7 seconds flat for Mateusz Kieliszkowski, and he has put himself right back in the picture.
This is the place to make it up. Great grip, keeps his feet moving, that super athletic ability. Did not have a drop. Wow, finished that so quickly. I wonder if that's actually the record.
Being told 7 seconds flat.
7 seconds flat is the new record on the frame carry. That is unbelievable. Barehanded, 880 pounds in 7 seconds up a 35-foot ramp. Amazing.
Take us through this very impressive effort.
It's so quick, I can't say that much. I mean, he just shot up the ramp. He didn't have to run his grip because he was so fast.
Mateusz Kieliszkowski is the event winner, a time of 7 seconds, and he's on the event floor with Kiki.
Mateusz, what an incredible performance here. Obviously, you're trying to outrun your grip. How are you training your grip back home?
This event, exactly, I train same, maybe not same uphill like here, but still uphill. And my grip is very slippery. It's painting, but it's slippery. Here is like bar. It's not possible to drop this. So I train harder at home than in competitions.
Mateusz Kieliszkowski, full 10 points for the best finish. He is now in with 40.5 points, and now he has closed that gap to 3.5 points.
Mateusz Kieliszkowski closes the gap in Event 5, and now it's time for the finale of the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic, the Sear Dumbbell Strategic Challenge. Kieliszkowski holds the world record in Sear dumbbells, but he trails Hafthor Bjornsson by 3.5 points. The final event when we return.
After 2 days and 5 grueling events in Columbus, Ohio, the final moments of the Arnold are upon us. 10 men have performed feats of strength thought impossible a generation ago, and no doubt have inspired the next generation to redefine what is possible for the future. Time to crown our champ. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you with us here today. And Bill, we've seen some outstanding performances, some inspiring ones, but in the end, it really comes down to Hafthor Bjornsson, Mateusz Kieliszkowski. One of those two men is going to walk away with the title.
Yes, that's true, and it turns into Hafthor's legacy here at the Arnold. Have 3 wins in a row, and also, Mateusz wants to step up into that champion's role.
It's been a fun day and a half of competition so far. It all started off with Event 1, Trial by Stone. This is one where Hafthor Bjornsson came out, set the time to beat, but had it quickly passed by Mateusz Kieliszkowski. He ended up taking 10 points in Event 1. Bag over bar was a no-brainer to go to Hafthor Bjornsson. He took a lead into the final event of day number 1, the Wheel of Pain, and that's where Kieliszkowski made his move. Mateusz moving the Wheel of Pain in a way no one has before, setting the mark to beat that Hafthor Bjornsson was unable to match. He ended day 1 a half point back, but then day 2 started with the deadlift. This was Hafthor Bjornsson's event. The only man to go over 1,000 pounds, made it look fairly easy. He reclaimed his lead and set up a big matchup head-to-head in the timber carry. Kieliszkowski flew up the ramp to claim the 10 points and keep himself in the conversation heading in to the 6th and final event of the competition. The lead had been 5.5. It is down to 3.5 points. Kieliszkowski hot on the trail of Hafthor Bjornsson, but the mountain is still in command and has complete control over who wins here at the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this one. One competitor at a time. They each choose their weight. Heavier weight trumps multiple reps.
Yes, it is. So it's the most weight overhead that actually wins. There's going to be some strategy here, but in the end, it's the heaviest dumbbell overhead that will carry the night.
The Sear dumbbells, named after legendary French-Canadian strongman Louis Sear, weigh between 274 and 330 pounds. They're designed and manufactured at Rogue HQ right here in Columbus, Ohio, and the newest and heaviest of them are made from stainless steel. Louis Sear himself pressed a dumbbell overhead weighing 273 pounds back in 1892. Current world record for this event belongs to Mateusz Kieliszkowski, who has pressed 315 pounds.
Time now to begin Event 6. Alexei Novikov will be first, 24 years old, from Kiev, Ukraine. Works as a business and financial advisor when he's not training and competing. Good lift at 274.
Very nice lift. So he's only 2 points behind Misha and Rob at this point. So, you know, he could actually skip up several places with a good performance here.
He's 3 points out of 5th place, so he could very easily make his way into the top half of this competition. He finished 7th last year. Jumping to 300 pounds. He'd be our first man to lift 300, and he sticks it.
Awesome. Put a little rebend into it. Super explosive. A young athlete, but he shows so much maturity in the fact that he was really patient with that, and then he stuck with it.
And he's got 45 seconds. If you were Alexei, would you attempt to raise the bar and go to 310, or would you try to put another rep on at 300?
I'd go up and wait, because that's the knockout punch. That's probably how you make the most points.
He's going to go to 310 pounds.
These are strong men. They want to lift the heaviest thing possible.
Here he goes.
Great position, explosive. He can rebend under it if he just pushes out a little bit.
20 seconds.
Took a lot of gas.
I don't think it's realistic for him to make this attempt. Still 300 pounds.
10 seconds.
Here we go.
Come on.
Alexei Novikov, 310 pounds.
Oh. Had it locked out, but just couldn't maintain the position under it. Gets it in great position. Notice how his upper arm is not only parallel, but actually pointed upwards. Directly below his spine. Great hip drive. Excellent.
This is where things get really interesting. You've got to fight to get on the podium, and you've got to fight for first place. First would be the fight for the podium. I think Litsi's had his eyes set towards a bigger prize, but staying on the podium for a second straight year would still be quite the accomplishment.
Good position. He's been training hard on this. Good lockout. Excellent lift.
Going with his left hand there.
Okay, now he wants to go up. 280.
90.
He'll jump to 290.
290, there
second.
we go. He had a little bit of a second guess on that. Again, his strategy. 280, no, 290. Okay, he needs to get a better position than that. There he goes. He's got it. Now, big hip explosion and time it.
Unable to get it, and he's going to bow out gracefully. At 274 pounds. So we've got a 4-way tie for 3rd place right now. Martins Litsi's
big hip
up
drive.
The competition at 274.
Great lockout. I expected him to go a little bit higher. That was a really strong lift initially.
The Sear Dumbbell Strategic Challenge wraps up when we return to Columbus, Ohio. Who will win the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic? Mateusz Kieliszkowski and Hafthor Bjornsson battle next.
The 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic on CBS Sports is sponsored by Theragun. Change the way you move. GoRuck. Founded by a Green Beret, GoRuck is an American brand with Special Forces roots. And by Road. Don't weaken.
Welcome back to the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic presented by Road. We're in the final event, the Sear Dumbbell Strategic Challenge. Before our two leaders get their turn, here's what you missed. Maciej Belshak had a successful lift of 280 pounds. He attempted 300, but was unable to complete the lift. Bobby Thompson, Rob Kearney, and Mikhail Shivlikov all were successful at 274 pounds, but both J.F. Caron and Jerry Pritchett were unable to complete a press. Now it is time for our final two competitors.
Kieliszkowski is next. He is reportedly going to open at 300 pounds, so this event is very much in his wheelhouse. He's going to start with a weight that would make him the new leader.
Yes, he's the record holder in this event, so that shows his prowess. Such an explosive athlete. He's got such tremendous athletic ability. They're getting mentally prepared.
You want to see it?
He's going through the sequence in his head.
Kieliszkowski attempting 300 pounds.
Not quite, not quite. Something's going on there. He kind of faltered a little bit.
Now, doing the math, Bill, if he is able to take the lead here, either by doing 300 pounds multiple times, going to 310, whatever it takes, if he's able to take the lead, Hafthor Bjornsson would have to lift 280 to win the competition. He couldn't tie at 274. There'd be too many people log jammed with him.
Yes.
It would bring his points down too far. So this is very much available here if Mateusz can get it up, and he does.
There you go. A lot more leg drive on that. His position was good on the first one, but he just put a lot more diesel behind that. So here he goes. He's going right to the 320. So just like I said, he's going for the knockout punch. This is the record. He's going for the knockout punch. He wants Hafthor to have to lift this.
$5,000 as well.
Yes. Look at that beautiful implement, stainless steel. Right at the end, he's just got just enough time. He's got to get it right up, position it, and get under it.
For the record, for the cash, for pressure, for the win. He's got it.
Wow. That is astonishing. That is great.
320 pounds. That is astonishing. The Sear Dumbbell Strategic Challenge. He throws strategy out the window and says, lift this.
Watch his position. Perfect position. Very explosive. Gets right under it. Perfect timing. Locks it out. Unbelievable.
So he moves into first place. And that does mean Hafthor Bjornsson has to lift 280 in order to take the title of champion. Not just once, not twice, but 3-time consecutive champion here at the Arnold Strongman Classic. But if he can't lift 280, he's going to be in some serious trouble.
That's true. So we'll see what happens here. It's all on him to win. One lift. He's on the 280 right now. He's just going to take. This is his knockout punch. He's got a minute and a half. He's left-handed, by the way.
280 pounds. This is for the title. Up. And for the third time, Hafthor Bjornsson, the Mountain, is the Arnold Strongman Classic champion.
He wants to go up. He wants to give everybody a little bit more of a show here.
Now, previously, when he's had the opportunity to stretch his limits, he said, nope, I'm going to save myself for later. There's no reason to save yourself now, big guy.
No, continue. Just he wants to do this for pride. He wants to. It wouldn't surprise me if he nails this if he goes to the 320.
300, making it look easy.
That looks stronger. He's like, give me the big one. Bring it out here. Here it is. How much time does he have left?
40 seconds. He's already got the championship.
Wow.
And he's going to 330. Apparently they did bring a bigger dumbbell.
Yeah. Okay, come on. I think he can get this, really, because he made those first two look so easy. Look at that beautiful implement.
330 pounds.
Great position.
The Mountain.
Oh, so close. Come on, Hafthor. Oh.
He'll say no.
No.
He'll have to settle for being a 3-time Arnold Strongman Classic champion. Hafthor Bjornsson. Bill, put into perspective what we just saw from the Mountain.
Hafthor with that great 300-pound lift over his head. Very dominating performance. He looked really great with this. Very strong.
Right now, let's throw it over to Kiki Dixon standing by with Hafthor Bjornsson.
The sport has progressed so much over the last 3 years. What does it mean to you to know that you are the one setting the bar so high?
That means a lot to me, because this is the hardest show in the world to win, the heaviest, the toughest, the hardest to qualify to. So to stand here on the stage today, winning it the 3rd year in a row, means a lot.
Congratulations on your 3-time championship here tonight.
Thank you so much.
We have witnessed history. Hafthor Bjornsson, now a 3-time champion here at the Arnold Strongman Classic. Plus, we saw a new record on the Sear dumbbell posted by Mateusz Kieliszkowski. A whole lot of history happening tonight.
Here are your final standings. Hafthor Bjornsson reaches the top of the podium for the third year in a row. Mateusz Kieliszkowski won 4 events and he set 2 world records, but he still finishes 2 points back of the mountain. And Martins Licis, the Dragon, wraps up the podium. He finishes 3rd. Congratulations to all of our competitors and, of course, to our champion, Hafthor Bjornsson. For Dr. Bill Crawford and our entire crew, I'm Sam Farber saying it's been a pleasure and a privilege having you with us here at the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports in association with Rogue Fitness.